was asked to design a motorcycle, and this is what I had come up with. And I really struggled designing this because I chose a Ducati, and the Ducati that I had selected was absolutely perfect. So I just want to go on record and say that this bike is absolutely perfect just the way that it is. However, I wanted to show how to add different components using the Lasso Tools and the layers to revisit a project that's a little bit more intricate than designing a car, because motorcycle rims are very different than car rims. There is a lot that goes on in here that you have to fix with brake calipers and chains and other things if you want to change a motorcycle rim. And you have to put all these other components on the front. And yes, I do get into putting different skins and stuff on the bike if you wanted to get really crazy. But you don't really need to, because this bike's gorgeous. However, now, some students want to choose different things. Someone might want a scooter. Someone might want a nice, beautiful gray BMX bike. I chose a motorcycle. All right? Anything that you want to do, I will be super flexible with this, okay? Now, first thing you need to do is to get the motorcycle or a piece of, the bike or the scooter. Get the motorcycle. At least 500 to 700 megapixels to start with. So we're going to copy the image, go into Photoshop. After we're in Photoshop, we're going to go to File, New, automatically pre-slugs the size, and there it is. We'll go to Edit, Paste. Control 0 will let you see the whole entire image. Hit the crop menu, and you can crop it however you need to. Boom. There it is. Let's get rims now. Find a nice set of motorcycle rims. So I took the time earlier to get a nice rim. I'm going to copy this image. It's a very big rim. I'm going to go back into Photoshop, Control V, Control T. Holding Shift. If you don't hold Shift, when you come down, it's gonna do this. By not holding Shift, it doesn't keep it in proportion. Hold Shift, grab a corner, shrink it down a little bit. Now, click the Move tool. Here's what I want to do. Take the layers away. Use the magic wand. Get rid of this background. I'm going to keep the white in the middle for a reason. I'm going to hit on the rim, Control T. Whoops, Control D. Sorry. Control D, Control T on the rim layer. I'm going to double click on this, call this bike layer. I know it's the bike. This is going to be the back rim. I'm not going to name it yet for a reason. I'm going to hit Control T though. Control T on this rim layer, and I'm going to shrink it now. As I'm shrinking this, holding Shift, and I'm going to shrink down the rim a little bit, get it to right about where it needs to be. It's still just a little bit big. Right about there is fine. Alright, I am now going to duplicate this rim. Drag it down to the bottom, and I'm going to hold Shift and move it. Or you could drag it over. And now it's at the front of the bike, which looks pretty legit. The reason that I did this, you want to see that your rims look legit. Because I'll be honest, if they don't, you want to be able to see it. And I know they look good. This looks okay. I like these. So I'm going to call this the back rim. And I'm going to call this now the front rim. Now, you guys are going to have different bikes, different things. You're going to have design dilemmas. Here's mine. Look at the back. See this rotor here? If I want to sell this rim to the back, I have to copy a rotor like this. I'm not going to copy this rotor because, look, I have a design dilemma. Look at all this red in here. This is terrible. I can't put that over this, so I have to get a rotor. Here's how you do that. We're going to go straight to the internet, and yes, I got a rotor. I'm going to copy this rotor. It's for the brakes. What the brake does is it grabs a rotor, a caliber grabs a rotor, and then it stops a motorcycle. Control V, Control T. I'm going to grab this thing, holding Shift, and I'm shrinking the rotor down that I just grabbed off the internet. Alright, and we're going to utilize this rotor for the front and the back to keep it the same exact rotor. Alright, there we have it. I'm going to keep the white background just for now, but in the meantime, I'm going to delete the external part. I'm going to leave the white background in here. I'll leave it for now, and I'll show you why later. Control D, Control T. I'm going to shrink the rotor down. Alright, now watch this. On the back rim, I'm going to lower the opacity a little bit, and I can see where the old rotor was. Holding Shift, I'll bring it up and get it exactly where it could be. And just to get crazy, I'll lower the opacity of this one and try to line up the holes. There you have the holes. Holes look good. Alright. Now bring up the opacity of this one. Back rim, bring up the opacity of that one. There it is. Rotor looking good. Now let's back out. Now we got a little bit of a rotor. Now we're going to put the other things like the bike chain and the brakes and stuff. Alright. So here's how we do this. I'm going to show you a little shortcut. I want to put this rotor, I want to put the other parts of the bike, but look, these spokes should be behind the rotor. Watch how we fix this. I'm going to take the back rim and duplicate it. I'm taking the back rim copy. This here's the rotor. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to call this back rotor. The back rotor I'm putting in the middle of those two tires, and watch this, the back rim copy. This is where you're learning layers now. I'm going to click here and delete this. Delete, 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 delete. Only on the white. Delete, delete, and delete. Now I have the back rim where I have the rotor there. So I hid this one behind this one and this one by this one, and there's your original. This is called planar recession, placing one object in front of another to create the illusion of depth. That's exactly what we're doing. Alright, so let's just get the other motorcycle components really quickly. So I'm going to take away the back rotor and the rim, back rim copy too. I'm going to get rid of everything I'm looking at right now. Alright, so here's what I am looking at right here. Here is the rim. I want to get, the exhaust is covering it, right? So let's get the exhaust now. Let's copy the exhaust. So let's go to the polygonal lasso tool, and I'm going to come right here, and I'm just tracing the exhaust. We all know the polygonal lasso tool. I want to make sure that you guys, the essence of this project is to make sure that you're aware of which crop tools and other things to use. Because look, you're not going to use AI all the time to make your stuff and design stuff. You want to be able to make the whole internet malleable. Alright? And that's what we're doing here. On the bike layer, a lot of people who didn't listen will go edit, cut. Not the right way to do it. Control Z, you go to edit, copy, and then edit, paste special, paste in place. Drag this layer all the way up to the top. I'm going to call it exhaust. I'm going to call it exhaust. Now that this is called exhaust, I'm going to, look what happened here. I took this exhaust, and because it was underneath, I now put it above. If I put it beneath it, it's underneath it. If I put in the layer above this back rim, there it is. I'm leaving the front rim alone. Alright, now let's get other parts. Alright, let's get into the details. Devil's in the details. Let's take away all these other layers really quickly. And let's get back down to this part right here. Alright, we're going to get this chain right here, okay? I'm going to show you a little trick really fast. Watch this, guys. So we're going to go into here, and we're going to grab with the polygonal lasso. Now, watch how we do. We're going to come into here, and we're going to get just every little nook and cranny of this chain right here, okay? I'm going to come into here, and this is called a brake caliper. You're going to need this. This is what stops the motorcycle, okay? Look at this. It goes over the rim. I'm showing you two different ways to do this. You can get the brake caliper, and watch, we can extend it. On the bike layer, I'm going to go to edit, copy, edit, paste special, paste in place. Bring this back brake up to the top. Dragging it up to the top, watch what happens now. Well, we don't need it in front of the front rim. Back brake under the front rim. Watch this. By bringing everything back, there's your back brake. Does not look too convincing though. Back brake has to be under the back rim. Now we have the brakes here. So watch how we fix this. We're going to go into the back brake, and in the back brake layer, use the clone stamp tool. Make it smaller. About a 7 is good with a soft edge. Holding Alt on the back brake layer, I'm just going to paint it. Get rid of the areas that don't sell it. And now the back brake is good. It's no longer red. And it fits. And look at this. We have other parts of the back brake that I'm able to extend out. And now, when we back out, the bike actually has back brakes in there. No one could tell but us, but it's there. It's all there, okay? We could just leave the brakes now. Let's do the front part of the bike now, all right? In order to do the front, there's other parts of the back bike we really should do actually, so I'll help you out with that. Make sure we get that done. Let's get rid of these parts right here. Let's just get this part right here. Use the polygonal. We'll go underneath. We'll cut this part. This is the sprocket. This is what holds the other part of the center of the bike. All right, on here, edit copy, edit paste special, paste in place. Boom, you drag it up, call it sprocket. Boom, sprocket goes up to the front, and there's your front rim. All right, cool. Take away this stuff. The sprocket is in there now, okay? You can hit Control L and lower the levels of the sprocket so that it's darker, and there you have it. And you can also hit OK and move the sprocket just up a little bit, and boom, there you have it. Now you got the sprocket in there, and that looks pretty legit. You know, you could also add the back, I think it's for the chain. It's got this part right here. Easy. Watch how we do this. We'll go into here, take the lasso tool or polygonal, and we'll go into here and easily get this part of the, you could take the whole thing. I'm going to show you a little hack. Watch. I'm going to take this whole part of it in the bike. I'm going to go to edit, copy, edit, paste special, paste in place. I'm going to call this guard, rear guard. Take the rear guard, put it all the way up top, underneath the front rim. Sprocket should be under the front rim as well. Now, the rear guard, bring everything back. The rear guard, see how it's got the red in it? Watch this. You could put the rear guard underneath everything. And you can hit Control L and darken it completely black. And bring it underneath everything. And there you have it. So there's your rear guard now. You have the whole entire back rim is done. Now we go to the front rim. And now look at this. There's our original rim. And now we have a custom back rim. My bad. There's your original. And now you can see a custom new rim. Alright? And now we're going to get into a couple of other things on the front. The front, believe it or not, is a little bit easier. Watch how we do. We'll take away everything except for the front rim. There's your front rim now. Okay, watch this. I'll give you a little bit of a shortcut here. We know that this here is covering everything on the tire. So get it right where it needs. Get exactly what you need of this. And we could get this part. And you can also just copy the sprocket. Look at this. And the brake calipers. Look at this. They're actually on the front. On the brakes on a motorcycle, it's a little bit different. You can get these brakes. Now, I'll take the brake lines as well. Why not? Why wouldn't I? You need to stop, right? They got to have hydraulic fluid. So let's get close to it and let's get into it. Now watch this. So we're good. Coming up, and let's get to right back where we started. All right, great. On the bike, I'm going to go to edit, copy, edit, paste special, paste in place. Drag this layer all the way up to the top. There's the front of the rim. I will call this front end. All right, there you go. And now let's bring everything back. Boom. Now I got the front end is legitimately on here. Okay. It's got a couple of little areas that you could fix. We'll touch those up. But if you take a look back now, look what I have just done. This is all I want to do in the beginning stages of this motorcycle, because this was really tough. I wanted to just make sure that you could just change the rims and add all the different automotive components to it, okay? This is the original. And then we added the rims in the back. It has a different rotor. You could put the same rotor on there, and then you have the motorcycle's front with the front end, okay? To add the other things on here, like fire and stuff like that, we'll get to that now. I'll show you how to do that, but you should know how to do that already from the previous tutorial. Thank you.